declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Malcolm X, perhaps the most powerful black leader of our time, was gunned down on February 21st, 1965, at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem. Who was Malcolm X? What did he stand for? Who killed him? And why? Malcolm X was born Malcolm Little on May 19, 1925, in Omaha, Nebraska. He was one of 8 children. His parents moved to Lansing, Michigan when Malcolm was 3. His father, Earl Little, was a Baptist minister and a follower of Marcus Garvey. He preached Garvey's message, which was racial pride and the separation from the white race. The KKK warned Little, but he kept on preaching. They burned his house down, but it still didn't stop him. One night, Earl Little went for a walk and didn't come back. They found him with his head crushed in. They finally stopped him. Malcolm's family was extremely poor, and Louise Little tried as hard as she could, but finally had a nervous breakdown and was institutionalized. Malcolm went to his teacher and told him that he wanted to be a lawyer, but the teacher told him that a nigger couldn't be a lawyer, and that he should do something with his hands, like the other niggers. Malcolm continually got into trouble and finally got kicked out of school. He went to live with his sister in Boston and quickly started hanging out with the hip crowd. He combed his hair, wore a zoot suit. He partied all night and got high all day. Malcolm got a job on the railroad and loved going to the big cities like New York and Washington, Philadelphia, and Baltimore. He got heavily into drugs and prostitution and even started stealing to support his cocaine habit. He went on a Christmas stealing spree in Boston with a bunch of his friends in December 1945 and was arrested in a Boston jewelry store on January 12. When he tried to reclaim a stolen watch he left for repair. Malcolm was sentenced to prison and started serving time on February 27, 1946. While in prison, he started visiting the library and reading everything he could, including the dictionary. Malcolm's brother introduced him to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad in 1947, and Malcolm converted to the Nation of Islam. He was paroled from state prison on August 7, 1952, and went to live in Detroit, where he started working at a furniture store managed by his brother, Wilfred. He went to Chicago to hear Elijah Muhammad speak and received his X on August 31st, 1952. Malcolm was named Assistant Minister of Detroit Temple No. 1 and became the first Minister of Boston Temple No. 11 in 1953. He preached the teachings of Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, we hate laziness. We hate drunkenness. We hate dope addiction. We hate nicotine. We hate all of the vices that the white man has taught us to partake in. And he accuses us of hating him. Who are you? You don't know. Don't tell me Negro. That's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? What was your name? It couldn't have been Smith or Jones or Bunch or Powell. That wasn't your name. They don't have those kind of names where you and I came from. No, what was your name? And why don't you now know what your name was then? Where did it go? Where did you lose it? Who took it? And how did he take it? What tongue did you speak? How did the man take your tongue? Where is your history? How did the man wipe out your history? What did the man do to make you as dumb as you are right now? If you can't do for yourself what the white man is doing for himself, don't say you're equal with the white man. If you can't set up a factory like he sets up a factory, don't talk that old equality talk.
It's truth that makes us to know the white man as he is. It is not other than the truth. It's just the real truth. We never did know the real truth. So now we know the white man as he is. And if the white man said that I am teaching hatred, it is just to say I didn't want you to tell them who I was. The same God didn't make the white man that made us. The white man made just 6,000 years ago, and we was made unlimited. We don't know nothing about any birth record to us. And you can't find no history that will give you the birth of the black man. He has always been.
They call Mr. Muhammad a hate teacher because he makes you hate dope and alcohol. They call Mr. Muhammad a black supremacist because he teaches you and me not only that we're as good as the white man, but better than the white man. Yes, better than the white man. You are better than the white man. And that's not saying anything. That's not saying, you know where just to be equal with him. Who is he to be equal with? We turn to drugs because we're trapped. We turn to drugs and alcohol, seeking an escape from the hell that the white man has trapped us in here in America. We're trapped. We know no way out. So we get a wine bottle. We get a whiskey bottle. Or we stick a needle in our arm. Or we smoke pot. Trying to find an escape from the hell that the white man has given us for 400 years here in America. So this is a false escape. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is offering a real escape. Not only a real estate, but a real escape right here on this earth.
We cannot deal with the American white man's army and his science of modern warfare. We can't compete with it. So therefore, if we are dissatisfied, we have to take our dissatisfaction to one who can deal with him effectively, and that's God.
Personal political philosophy is black nationalism, which means that the black man should control the politics of his own community and control the politicians who are in his own community. My personal economic philosophy is also black nationalism.
Abraham Lincoln tricked the so-called Negro into thinking that he was free. And when you read some of the books that were written by the so-called Negro historian J.E. Rogers, one of his books, God, the Africa's Gift to America, he points out plainly how Abraham Lincoln did nothing but trick the Negro, fool the Negro, and use the Negro, the same as every other politician who has been in the White House has been tricking and fooling and using the Negro as a political football ever since America has been America. Our desire, our prayer, that we can have a peaceful, intelligent rally here this afternoon. But at the same time, we see that they have surrounded us with many
of their own agents in uniform and out of uniform who have spent much time here in Harlem posing as peace officers and at the same time breaking up the peace of black people. So we hope that they will be peaceful and we will be peaceful. Those of you who think that we are here to tell you to love the white man, you have come to the wrong place. And those of you who think that you perhaps came here to hear us tell you to turn the other cheek to the brutality of the white man, I say again, you came to the wrong place. But no matter what happens, we don't teach you to turn the other cheek. We don't teach you to turn the other cheek in the South, and we don't teach you to turn the other cheek in the North. We teach you to obey the law. We teach you to carry yourselves in a respectable way. But at the same time, we teach you that anyone who puts his hand on you, do your best to see that he doesn't put it on anybody else.
You don't have any boats or airplanes bringing drugs into this country. The white man brings it in. The white man brings it to Harlem. The white man makes you a drug addict. The white man then puts you in jail when he catches you using drugs. Who is it that controls the prostitution in Harlem? It's the white man. Who controls the large sale of whiskey and wine? It's the white man. You don't have any distillery. You don't own Shenley's. You don't own Old Overholt or Seagram. You don't put the seal on that bottle of whiskey. It's the white man. Who gives you the deck of cards and the dice that you use to gamble with? It's the white man. And after he sell them to you, he catch you with them and put you in jail for using them. We're trapped in a vicious cycle of poverty, of ignorance, of apathy, of disease, and of death. And they have these old Uncle Tom Negro leaders coming to Harlem telling you and me that times are getting better. Your times will never get better until you make them better. We love this anything that goes on right here in Harlem. They will let a prostitute die as long as she come back to them later on. They encourage her to be a prostitute. They take bribes from her for being a prostitute. And they'll take it in cash or they'll take it in trade. Well, we're here to tell them it has to come to a stop. Anytime you find any white man taking advantage of your woman, disrespecting her, you're within your right to do the same thing to him that he's been doing to you. You can't take a white woman in a white neighborhood. You can't grab a white woman in a white neighborhood. You can't even walk through a white neighborhood with a white woman. Why, what do you look like letting this blue-eyed thing walk around here with our women? Comes to biting the enemy of America, you'll bite just like that. Whether he tell you to bite in Korea or bite in Berlin or bite in the South Pacific. As soon as he says stick 'em, you'll bite anybody he point the finger at. But right here in this country, under your nose, with two-legged white dogs, sticking four-legged dogs on your and my mother, you and I don't know how to bite. Sticking dogs on your and my sister, and you and I don't know how to bite. Sticking dogs on our children and dogs on our babies, and you don't know how to bite. You can't bite nor bark until the white man say bark or bite. In the South, you are segregated by that dog. In the North, you integrated with this dog. And it's no different. I hope you're not getting too wet. The dog is their best friend. The dog is their closest relative. They got the same kind of hair, the same kind of skin, and the same kind of smell. Oh, yeah. And Adam Clayton Powell knows it. He knows you can send him to Washington or you can send him to Puerto Rico. And because he knows it, he speaks with a loud voice like a black man. And when he speaks with a loud voice like a black man, the white man calls him a racist. Says he sounds too much like a Muslim. Simply because he's trying to tell the white man where it's at. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad finishes opening your and my eyes and making it possible for us to see this white man like he really is, he don't have to worry about us integrating with him. We don't want to be around that old pale thing. We don't want to be around that old pale thing. We don't want to integrate with that old pale thing. We don't want to sleep next to that old pale thing. No, we can do without him. You find that old pale thing laying out in the sun, trying to get to look like you. That old pale thing. You find him using man tan, trying to look like you. That old pale thing. That old sickly looking thing. And today we see him like he is. There was a time when we used to drool in the mouth over white people. We thought they were pretty because we were blind. We were dumb. We couldn't see them as they are. But since the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has come and taught us the religion of Islam, which has cleaned us up and made us so we can see for ourselves, now we can see that old pale thing to look exactly as he looked. Nothing but an old pale thing.
Caucasian is a name given to the quality of the man. It means originally weak bone and stale face, you know. The person have a stale color and his bones are weak and they call him Caucasian. But actually he was made white. This was brought about 6,000 years ago. And a black man, he is the father of the Caucasian race. His name was Yakub. He discovered in the germ of the black man that there were two people. And in studying the germ, he learned to divide the germ. It taken him 600 years to